ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. I've timed it so the lighting will be good, and the lighting should help me. Let me turn it around and show you the Vatican and St. Peter's Square out there. You can see the top of the St. Peter's Church. Look, I'm now reading for the water signs, of course. Water signs, and I'm going to start with the water sign with Cancer. Cancer, this is a citrine, and this is all about the energy surrounding you for the month of December. Look, I do see lots of light. There is definitely lots of light surrounding you, and maybe we could say perhaps it could be the festive nature of the holidays, knowing that your family will be close. It could be because that certain someone that you don't see very often comes to you. Good morning, everyone who's listening. I'm so happy you could join me. And perhaps, though, it's just that you yourself are just starting to see that light. Let's use that expression. You're starting to see that light. And I have to say that it really looks beautiful. I mean, it is definitely to see you without that sadness around you, that air of sadness that oftentimes in this year I remember reading that there was. But it is just a very much lighter spirit that I am seeing, a lighter step in your gait, the way you expend your energy, even if, let's say, for example, when you have time and you're home and it's the weekend, like today, for example, even if you're alone, you have a light way about you. You interact, you extend yourself more than normal. And even if your favorite team doesn't, win the game today, usually that would make you go absolutely crazy, but still it doesn't bother you that much. It's things like that, silly things we could say like that. I see you as having the health issues that you have had in the last month are not revisiting you. Those, maybe flus, the sneezing and the coughs, you have just the tail ends of it. I don't see you as bringing that into the holiday season. I see that you're very, very pleased with how things have been going. You're pleased with yourself. You're pleased with the fact that it is December. And for most of you, you will be celebrating those holidays and will be doing it with a family around you or close friends. Now, there's another thing that I'd like to address here with you, Cancer, and it's about how can I say, passing judgment on people. I'll give you an example that you tend to want to do this month. For example, there's a friend of yours who comes to you and say, I just planned a trip to 5 different countries in 10 days, and maybe you are afraid of flying or something like that. So you criticize him or her, and you put a pin in their balloon and rain on their parade, as they say in English. But try to keep those to yourself, those comments, and keep that open, extended feeling that you have in your chest. Open it up, because it smacks of a sort of jealousy or fear that you may have, but it's very, very slight, and most of you will not be going there at all. But that is going to be a slight tendency. You may want to say something, but you, with all of the happiness that surrounds you, most likely you won't. Well, let's go on now to the next water sign is Scorpio. Look at this beautiful Scorpio's Mars also has a bit of Mars there. This is the garnet, and it's one of the most beautiful stones I have, actually. And look, what do I have here for you, Scorpio, is a reverence. There's a sense of reverence for the timing of the year, reverence for the people that surround you, reverence for the thanks that you want to give, because you are very thankful there are people in your life that you care for and that you love. But there's also another kind of reverence, and the reverence has to do with you being able to understand certain, how can I put it, you being able to understand certain difficulties that you've had over the past few months, and that you didn't know how to deal with, and you spent lots of times trying to understand, turning things around, looking at them from different points of view, and still couldn't come to terms. Now, this month, it's as if the light is starting to be turned on over you, as if you have been illuminated. And what I like about that is that you have those around you involved in your happiness and involved in your discovery, because it's as if you're a child who is just starting to discover and know the answers to things that were unknown to you, things that were a mystery to you. And December for you is an entire month of discovery, just like a child. And I see there's a lot of, there's a glow around you. You have much more patience than you've had recently. You'll do anything that needs to be done, that you feel that is your responsibility, that you feel you need to do, but you do it with a light and steady hand. You do it with an air of happiness and joy. And it's not only due to the holidays, because not many of you really are in the holiday spirit, and you don't need the holidays for you to be joyful, And what I'm looking at, though, is that what you're happy about is the true spirit of exploration and discovery. And as you can see, this is a point of a place in the panorama where people come to take pictures. It's just gorgeous. I don't want to tip my camera because I'm afraid it'll fall down. But what else I'm seeing for you, Scorpio, is that you're going to be coming into contact with family members that are not as fortunate as you are, and that may have a bit of difficulty, whether it's health, whether it is old age, whether it is just they're having bad luck. But you're going to be patient. You're going to be very patient. And this is due to the air of tranquility that surrounds you. And more than other signs, because now I've read for almost all the signs, more than other signs, I'm seeing that for you, there's an inner feeling of love that's just starting to mature, just starting to sort of, I don't want to say mature because it's not that, probably is not the right word, is starting to develop a joy not for others, and a love not for others, but a love and thanks that you are still alive and that you're able to understand that certain things need to happen to you. There's a day when you have to feel sick. There's a day when you have to feel sad. There's a day that you need to mourn. But because those days are there to help you understand that life comes and develops in a certain series of steps. And your guides, if you're able to contact them, Scorpio, try to listen, because they'll let you understand why certain things happen that you just don't understand, the unfortunate things. But this is the month that you're giving thanks and you're kindling that love within. I hope that is of help, Scorpio. Now for our last sign here, Pisces. Look at this. We still have enough light. This is a labradorite, and you could see right through it. There's enough light for you to see both sides. A labradorite is a very grounding stone, and grounded you will be, Pisces, because the end of the year, well, we're getting closer and closer to your birth period and your zodiac sign period. And on the way, you're traveling through Capricorn, through Sagittarius, through Aquarius. It's still 3 other different signs. But you're patient, and you're going to be extremely patient this month of December. Why? Because, and I'm joking, I'm not joking when I say it, but I'm laughing when I say it, You've been good, Pisces. You've been very good. Well, you've been good because you did, those of you who had homework, you've done your homework, you've studied, you've taken those tests, you've done all of, you've taken on your responsibilities that you've had. It's been a long year for you, and it hasn't been easy because there are certain things that have occurred specifically with people you care for, specifically with those that you have that you're dealing with, and that you just don't understand. The people that you care for, perhaps there wasn't communication, or perhaps they just never respond to you. Maybe even when you say happy birthday to them, they don't even acknowledge that. There were some things that it has been probably more than 1 year that you have been feeling this. But you know what? Isn't it worth it? Because now you start to feel your light load, the load is becoming lighter. And not only that, that certain someone, and this is an example, that certain someone, that significant other, all of a sudden understands, is starting to come toward you, and instead of moving away from you. And you ask yourself, now, what happened for that to happen? What did I do? And it's a mutual reaction, because when you you yourself are in a space where you're pleased, you're self-confident, you're trusting, and that is the magical word, Pisces. You trust, you're able to trust. That's when the doors seem to start to open. And I'm talking about doors in relation to interpersonal relations. Now, this may also apply to those who are seeking a job and they need a door to be open. There is a relationship that has to be established with someone in order for that door to open, and it is just about to open. The holiday season here until the end of the year are still going to be sort of in the same year, 2019. So let's say that it will be wonderful, but you're still you still know that you're going toward something that is slowly opening up, Pisces. And this expansion, which I've been seeing for all three the water signs in this reading, these three readings, but for you in particular, it's a slower progression, and it's as if you were planting seeds every day, and every day there's a slight change. You may not have understood. And I'll give you an example. Even if you had to turn turn away from someone and not reply, you've fed up. They're calling you, you just don't answer. They write to you, you don't answer, and then comes the day that they have understood, and they come knocking and say, "Is everything all right? You're disappeared," and then the game starts all over, and there's mutual lessons learned there. This is just an example. But all in all, I see that you're moving toward a different space in 2020. 2020, Pisces, is going to be a great year for you. I hope this was of help, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know how your holidays will be, what you're planning. And until we read together again, I'll be back during the week and next Saturday with Mystic Talks about and around spirituality. And we'll have a guest, Tanya. Bye-bye.